Oh, it's great. I mean, I've never obviously just visited, and I've very much enjoyed my time through training camp or the Young Stars, Penticton, etc. But saying before earlier today, I said actually the second year we said we didn't want to fly to Penticton. Me and my staff, we rented the car and we drove out, and we actually stopped in Abbotsford and had lunch. We didn't realize that we were foreshadowing our future, but here we are. We look back on it, and now all of a sudden it's hard to believe, but it's pretty exciting, that's for sure.
Talked to Ryan a little bit about the challenge of moving operations out west. You guys are hiring a couple new equipment guys. I mean, when it comes to setting out your kind of your backroom staff, I guess as we call it, how important is it to find the right fit there?
Uh, you know what? I think it's very important. Like Patrick, I think I've been doing that for the last since our season's pretty much ended. I've been not necessarily that role, but assistant coach, the video coach, and then I'd called and met with Chico on a Zoom like this, and then we and called some references. But for me, it's very important that the staff. I'm not going to say gets along, but has a good relationship, because that means a lot to me. I figure like I'm kind of the leader of the ship in Abbotsford, so to speak, and I think the players read and feed off that. We've had a great staff. We've got a great group. Change is good sometimes, and it allows different people in with I think different views and stuff, and it makes for excitement. And but that means a lot to me, to make sure our staff is good. We can be I guess just a seamless unit, and I think that makes a big difference for our players. I really make sure that that is something that our players see, that we enjoy our time with each other, we enjoy each other's company, and we like working hard together. And I think that's something that helps the players.
All right, we'll move on to our next question from David Quadrelli. David, go ahead.
Hey, Trent, you've got two young and promising goaltenders at your disposal next year. Obviously, Mikey's probably going to get most of the starts, but how do you see the goaltending situation playing out next year, and how much of that will you lean on Curtis for?
I think what we do is what we've done in the past with the whole organization is there's input from everyone. Obviously Jim's going to have he's our boss, and he's going to tell us what he thinks is the right way to do things. And then we've got Ian who weighs in on that as well. We've got Curtis there locally, but I mean, for me right now, and I think Ryan Johnson, my other boss here, he said that we probably want to see Mikey in quite a few hockey games. And here's a guy who didn't play that much last year. He's a great competitor. He loves to play. The more he plays, the better he is. So, and I don't have a great, I guess, knowledge of archers yet. I haven't been around him that much. So I know we have Mikey here. Here's a guy 2 years ago, he ended up winning the #1 job. And I couldn't say enough good things about him. And, I'm excited if he's our guy in Abbotsford. I'm really excited to have him.
And I was just hoping you could touch on that a little bit. You kind of touched on him taking over the job from Zane like 2 seasons ago, just kind of what you saw from him when he first showed up, and kind of how he just gave himself up and wanted to be molded into the goaltender that Curtis thought he could be. Just kind of talk about that and, what you saw from him 2 seasons ago.
You know what? I think Curtis did a great job, obviously, with him. But when Mikey came in, really good young pro. And what I mean by that is just his coming to the rink, his work ethic, his time he's at the rink, and he enjoys it. It's not like it's a time clock where he's coming and punching. Like, he was coming in. It was great to have conversations with him. He's always one of those first guys at the rink kind of thing. And we're always kind of having a couple chit chats before the other guys get there. And I love what he did with his game from the start to the finish. He had a little bit of a small hiccup, but that's understandable. He ended up getting called up to Vancouver. Then when he returns, it takes you a little bit to get back into the groove again. He did that, but then I thought his upside became even more what it was than when he started before that. So and it was great to have him again this year. Very shortened look, that's for sure. But, look at the kid's track record and coming out of junior, world championships in the summer. He's just such a great prospect for us.
Okay, just a reminder to everyone to please use the raise hand function if you have a question for Trent Cull. We'll move along to our next one from Jeff Patterson.
Hey, Trent, looking forward to seeing you out in the Fraser Valley when you guys set up shop. I know that the team in Utica was well received and covered and meant a lot to that community, but what about coming to a Canadian market in the shadow of the big league team? What do you think that does for pressure on you as a coach, but maybe pressure on the players as well?
Me, I'm okay with that. I mean, I got a big set of shoulders, Jeff, so I can handle that. I'm okay with those situations, but I am, I'll be honest with you, kind of like a parent with maybe their sons. I mean, I have 3 of them. I'm a little bit guarded around our players. Like, I want our guys, and I know exactly what you're talking about in the Canadian market. Like, I understand that, and I want to protect them a little bit from that. And that'll be some talks that we have within the room, and try to just kind of keep our focus within our room and what we're doing and the thing we're doing on the ice. And sometimes it's tough. There's a lot of noise out there. And I know that it can be tough to, sometimes it's not always positive. I know that's hard to believe, but, and so I want to make sure that we're staying with our job, developing our hockey players in a great environment where they can come and feel safe. And that's one thing when they walk through the door at the rink in Abbotsford, like that's one thing that I provide and my staff will, and Ryan Johnson allows us to do that. And so that's, we'll try to feed that and kind of foster from there and try not to have that outside noise maybe kind of come into our room.
When we talked to RJ the other day, he said more travel based in Abbotsford, but with fewer games and fewer 3-and-3s or even 3-and-2.5s. I'm just wondering how much time and effort have you put into the logistics of setting up shop in Abbotsford and playing in this Western Division?
As much as I can right now, to be honest with you. It's I even got our new assistant coach. I've got him some jobs set up with that, some logistics, but there's a lot of things we don't know yet. I don't know exactly where we're flying out. We don't know. We don't have a firm schedule on our group exactly what's going to be set in stone. So those things it's nice though. Like the first initial draft that we've kind of had a look at, it's pretty good. Like I was expecting more games or more time on the road. And I think it's something that we can really work with. And it's amazing taking those games out of the schedule, what it does for your, how much more time there is. But we're going to have more travel. We know that. But you know what? Those are things I take very seriously, but also record a lot of how many practices we have per year, how we can base it, make sure we're still doing the skill development that we've always done in the past, because we don't want to sacrifice anything either. So, but you know what? Utter excitement about everything. Going out there, like you said, I think there's going to be a lot of excited people. I'm sure there is. You guys know it better than me. I'm not there yet in the environment, but I can't wait to get there. I know that people will, it's going to take us a little time, but they'll have some pride in their team. That's one thing we take pride in as a staff and the group, that we're going to work hard. And so win or lose, hopefully the fans will be proud of us.
Great. We'll take a return question now from Patrick Johnson.
Just the other hiring news. What is it about Jeff and Ian that stood out to you? The reason why you're adding them to the staff?
Jeff, I actually have been talking to for over a year. As you guys obviously would know, when Jason King went up, it was great for Jason. We're excited for him. But, me and Ryan Johnson had talked about Jeff Almer a year ago. He was in a skills development role, a little special assignments in Arizona, and they had a little transition changing of the guard. With our dual affiliation last year, we didn't have room to bring someone in, but it's someone that we had stayed in touch with. Just the more time spent with Jeff, the better, the more comfortable I felt with him. And I'm really excited about him. I think he's going to be a really good, personable coach, not very far removed from playing, which I really like, because I kind of got an elder statesman with my Uncle Gary on the one side, and now I have a younger guy who's got great playing experience on the other side with an analytical edge. And then it leads to Ian, and Ian's he just happened like a couple of days ago. So we've been working pretty hard on these things behind the scenes to get everything set up. But very happy to bring Ian in. He's a guy who's been working some analytics as well as doing a lot of the video for Laval in the past. He's kind of like their number 2, and so I think it transitions well. We miss the guys that aren't going to be making the transition to move out west, but we're also happy with some of the new faces that we have coming in.
You of course are the guy in the middle at 47, but not that far from playing. Is that what we're saying?
Unfortunately, it is quite a ways, I feel like, from playing now. And then when I get on the ice and strap on the skates, it's not like I'm feeling like I'm making a comeback anytime soon either. So, but yeah, it's I'm excited about our staff. And I think I alluded to it before. Like, I can't tell you what that means to me. I think it's a big part of my job is making the camaraderie with the staff, because that feeds into the players, and then that's part of our next step. And I really am excited about this group. We spend a lot of time on this, and from the end of our season to now. And even though it seems so easy that you've hired someone, but when you go through the process of hiring those people, talking to other people, going through the references, so I want to really make sure that I know Ryan's been great at his hirings, and with Chico, Shingo as well. Like, there's a lot of new guys coming in, but they're really good guys. I think are going to be a great part of our group.
Mark, can I squeeze one more question in?
Absolutely, go for it.
Just a bit about Jack Rathbone. You talked about DiPietro and his strange season. Rathbone, in the end, got time here. Then he got to go to Utica. Then he came back. What did you see from him, especially with yourself being a former defenseman?
Well, he played nothing like me, which is a great thing. So, I think we only had Jack for 8 games. So, but what I saw in his short time here, just a very sharp student of the game. Like, this guy's an intellectual kid. He's an intelligent kid. You talk to him about something, he absorbs it. And that's amazing, for all of us now. Sometimes we don't absorb things that quick, but very quick learner. Loved his skating. And I did a little, just doing some research on Jack. Like, you go back his last 4 years, and his games played, like, Jack has not played a lot of hockey. And so, like, he's played, I think it was a high school and 1 year of college, 1 year of junior, I think, in there. And now he's playing, practically NHL, American Hockey League, pro hockey. So I think there's a lot of upside there for Jack. And I think we have to be a little bit patient with him, because he's a guy as compared to a guy playing college or playing junior. These guys have played maybe, 150, 200 plus 200 games, guys in junior coming into pro, and he hasn't at those marks. And so I think that's why there's going to be a lot more growing still within Jack and developing in his time.